Chapter 46. JR rushed at Max, all his rage propelling him forward. Max was going to pay. For Melody, for Mr. Withers, for Cathra, and for Xena. JR drew his fist back to deliver a punch that would knock him out and break his nose. At least. But something was off. Max didn't move, didn't even flinch. He stood waiting for JR to come at him. He was up to something, but what? Instinct told JR to think twice, so he pulled his punch at the last minute, though his momentum carried him forward. The air around Max seemed to condense into a clear, gelatin-like substance. It absorbed JR's blow, and then a force exploded from the air around Max and flung JR across the room. He crashed through bottles and beakers before slamming into the wall. "Daddy!" Xena rushed towards JR. JR groaned, rubbing his head. "What the?" Surprised, Max held the arm with a sleeve on it into the air. "It's something I've been working on, with this young lady's help, of course. This prototype provides me with an energy shield that's powered by bioelectricity." JR's eyes widened. "You figured it out." "I did. I created a mesh made of a special proprietary alloy I developed that amplifies electricity, like a silver fox's fur." Max grinned at Xena. "I couldn't have done it without you, sweetheart. It's why I can't let you leave." Xena clutched JR's sleeve. He could almost feel her fear as an electrical charge in the air. "Back up, kid." JR pulled himself to his feet. "I'll take care of this." Max rolled his eyes. "Don't you know when you're outclassed, JR? I haven't even begun to develop the abilities of this prototype. All the powers of the Silver Fox will be mine to wield." "Silver Foxes? What are you talking about?" JR said. "You've gone crazy, Max." Max sighed. "I don't expect you to understand, but if you leave the girl, I'll let you go. You can even take the white kit with you. I have no use for her." "No!" "What's the big deal? Is someone paying you to retrieve her? I'll match the price. I'll even exceed it for all the trouble I put you through. Name the figure." "This ain't about money." "True, money never meant that much to you." Max screwed his mouth into a thoughtful pout. "What are you doing with them anyway? This isn't you. This isn't your style. I can't imagine you giving up your life for those two brats." JR glanced at Xena and Cathra. They were counting on him to get them out of there and back home where it was safe. And Melody was counting on him to bring them home. He got into a fighter's crouch. "Get ready, Max. I'm coming for you." "If you insist," Max shrugged. "But remember, you asked for it." This time JR and Max rushed at each other. JR aimed a punch at Max's face, but Max jumped over him and landed behind him. JR swung around. Right, Max was like Xena, not powerful but lithe and quick. He had to adjust. JR swiveled around and ducked under a blast Max had thrown and grabbed his leg. He swung the fox forward and hurled him across the room. Max sailed through the air, twisting around as he went. He held out his arms and slowed down as he approached the wall. He bounced off and landed next to Celeste. "Take cover, Celeste," he said, his eyes never leaving JR. "I don't want you to get hurt." Celeste gazed at him a moment before retreating to the lab entrance's doorway. JR didn't need to tell Xena and Cathra what to do. They had already ducked into the secret room, where it watched through a sliver of the open doorway. Max rushed at JR, swiping his arm in front of him as he came. JR saw the rush of air before him, a rippling, hazy space in front of the energy blast. JR dodged it, but Max came right behind with a kick to the chest. Pain exploded in JR's sternum. He staggered back. Max's kick was twice as powerful as it should be. Before JR could recover, Max punched JR over and over in his chest, stomach, and face. JR collapsed on the ground. Max leapt into the air and bent his knee, a blow that could snap JR's ribs. JR rolled out of the way and into a standing position. Spinning around, he kicked Max in the stomach and followed it up with a punch to the face that threw Max to the far wall. Finally, the upper hand. JR charged at Max with all his might. At the last moment, Max held up his hands to block JR's attack. Drawing energy from his prototype, he threw a blast of energy into JR's face, slamming him into the ground. JR groaned. This couldn't be it. He had to get up, for Xena's sake. A foot slammed into JR's chest. Max stood over him. "It's amazing how this device increases my abilities." He examined the device on his arm. "Tess would be pleased with the field test. Now how are we going to solve this little problem of ours? Will you leave her to me? Even now I'll pay you handsomely for the trouble you went through in coming here." JR's chest heaved up and down. "Never." "Too bad." Max raised his hands, and energy built in it. "No!" Xena rushed out of the room. She plowed into Max. "Leave him alone!" "Kid, get out of here," JR said. "Move!" Max shoved Xena aside. She latched onto his arm. "Get off of him!" She pulled at Max so hard her cheeks turned pink. "Leave my daddy alone!" "That's it!" Max stepped off of JR to turn to Xena. He grabbed her shoulder. "You need to learn your place." He raised his hand at her. "Eep!" Xena flinched. "Kid!" JR jumped to his feet. "Don't touch!" He froze mid-sentence. Max's eyes had widened. He twitched and convulsed, but no sound came out of his mouth. Always first and an end. JR caught a waft of burning fur. Sparks flew. "Mr. JR, help!" Xena pulled and pulled away from Max. I can't get him off." "What the?" JR took a step forward. Oh no, oh no. Celeste darted over to them. "Get her off of him! Make her stop!" "What's going on?" Celeste clutched her hair. "She's electrocuting him! She's killing him!" What?" "Daddy!" Xena turned to him with tears pooling in her eyes. "Help! Do something!" Catherine shook his arm. JR gaped at Xena tugging and Max switching. His mind's gears screeched to a halt. For the first time in his life, JR had no idea what to do. "Max, no! I won't let you do this!" Celeste scrambled for a pair of black rubber insulating gloves hanging on the wall. She pulled them on, stepped into matching black rubber boots, and grabbed Max and pulled. Right. JR's mind started to turn again. Donning a similar pair of rubber gloves and boots, he pried Max's fingers off of Xena's shoulders. Max fell to the floor with a thud. Xena fell into JR and buried her face in his shirt. "Daddy!" "It's okay, kid. I got you." "You killed him!" Celeste dropped to Max's side. "You killed him, you little freak!" No. Xena clutched JR's shirt. I didn't mean to." "Maybe we can revive him." Catherine held her scanner close to her chest. "But I don't know CPR." Celeste gasped. She pried open Max's mouth, tilted his head backwards, pinched his nose, took a deep breath, and blew into his mouth. She breathed into him 2 times, then found his sternum and thrust down in it with the heel of her hands. She thrust down 15 times, then breathed again. "Come on, Max," she said as she pushed on his chest. "Don't go. Please don't leave me alone." She leaned over him again. Max gasped and coughed. His eyes snapped open. "Max!" Celeste threw her arms around him. "You're okay." Max heaved and wheezed. He seemed to have trouble getting his breath. "I'll get help." Celeste dashed to the intercom. "I need medical personnel and security officers in Laboratory 2A immediately." "That's our cue to go." JR grabbed Xena's and Catherine's hands. "Not so fast." Celeste grabbed Max's gun out of its holster. "Don't move." She pointed it at them, gun shaking in her hands. JR froze. He knew the type. The girl had been easily subdued when she had no one but herself to worry about. But with Max hurt, it wouldn't take much to make her snap. To get out of this, he'd have to disarm her, literally and figuratively. "Calm down now." He let go of his girl's hands and raised his own in the air. He took a step towards her. "Stay back!" Celeste clenched her teeth. "Get away from him!" "You've never even held a gun before, have you?" JR stepped closer. "This isn't what you want. You don't want to shoot somebody." "Oh, yeah?" Celeste fired. Her shot went wide, completely missing JR. A scream tore out of Xena. She fell to the ground, clutching her shoulder. Celeste stepped back, her eyes wide, but she set her teeth and pointed the gun again. "I won't miss again." JR's lips retreated from his teeth. No more Mr. Nice Guy. He snatched the gun from her grasp and raised it to smack her over the head with it. Celeste squealed and covered her head. It would be too easy to shoot her and put her out of her misery. But no, he had to get Xena and Catherine out before security showed up. Besides, he didn't want to do it in front of the girls. Instead, he tossed the gun aside, scooped up Xena, and let Catherine grab his tail again. With a glare at Max's delirious face, he charged out of the lab. Security was already converging on the area when JR tore down the hall. Half of them stormed after him, while the other half stormed into the lab. "There you are!" Vix appeared beside him as he darted down the hall. "I ran into some trouble with the research department." "I know. You set off security." "So did you." Vix glanced behind her. "Though, thanks to that, I was able to get my tail out of my mess. You were the distraction I needed." "Wasn't intentional." "They're catching up." Vix stopped long enough to scoop Catherine in her arms. "Let's get moving." She darted faster down the hall. "Thanks for that." JR motioned to Catherine as he kept up with her. "It's not like you're going to leave them behind," Vix said. "Mr. JR, look!" Catherine held her scanner screen out to him. "There's a door over there where there are no guards." "Guess the brass come in handy after all." Vix rounded a corner in the direction Catherine had indicated. Keep it up, kid. JR charged after her, glad to have both his girls back. Under normal circumstances, he would have stopped to teach everyone in the complex a lesson, burn it to the ground like Max had his town. But revenge wasn't his priority this time, not with Lena and Catherine in his care. He had to get them far away from this place. He had to get them home.